If you're an alpha male and you struggle with women, then watch this video. Before we move on, I commend you for taking out time out of your day, and in fact, I commend you for acknowledging this incapacity as touching this subject, because we men are driven by ego. So for you, the alpha male, to come to the level and conclusion, this is a subject I do not have knowledge upon, based on the results I've been getting, I truly do not understand women. I commend you for your acknowledgements as well as your desire to improve. A fool is someone who doesn't know and doesn't want to know, says the Bible. So you have come here to learn, to drink of my infinite wisdom. Like I said, we men do things based on ego. The reason you want a Lamborghini, ego. The reason you want a beautiful lady, ego. The reason you want to be successful and rich, ego. So all of the things, in fact, you might not understand while you're getting up as early as 6 a.m., grinding as hard as possible, is to fuel ego. There's nothing wrong with it. We live in a world where masculinity is deemed as toxic. So trying to be a man, trying to get up and say, I want to drive fast cars, I want a bigger house, I want XYZ, I want better healthcare for my mom, is deemed as toxic. You're evil. You're trying to suppress women. The patriarchy is evil. Let's stay on course. One of the ways to be good with women is to first believe in yourself. Now, I'm going to give you 2 keys on how to be good with women. For the sake of time, I don't want to extend this video longer than it should, because I can, but I would not. The whole purpose of all of this content is not for the system of reward offered by whatever platform, whatever channel you find this on, but the desire to build young men, the desire to contribute and give back to society. So the first one is to believe in yourself. And every single thing is mental. If you've been following me long enough, you will naturally come to the conclusion that every single thing starts with the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind compels you to take actions which then produce results. That is the ultimate quality of your life. So how do you change results? It's not by trying to change results. If you're poor, the solution is not to get a job. The solution is to find the habits causing you to be poor. For instance, laziness and all of those negative habits. So believe in yourself. Every single thing is mental. And if you believe, you have to get up by 4 a.m. in the morning, read books, go to the gym in an attempt to be confident. That's a very ludicrous approach towards life. But if you go through those activities, you will be confident, you will believe in yourself. Why? Everything is mental. If you buy a $2,000 slide, is there a logical transfer of confidence to your mind? But you feel confident. Why? An athlete finishes first place. Do I need to come there and motivate or hype him up in order to feel excited? Exactly, but he does. Why? Your lady adores you and she expresses it through communication. Now you're excited. Now, was there any logical transfer of happiness via those words? But the outcome was produced. Why? The point I'm trying to highlight is you can scratch the desire and get towards the end. So instead of waiting for something external to hype you up or make you feel X way, you can tap into that emotion at will. When I say depression is not real, I cannot feel sad, People try and come after me for sharing, for misinforming rather, and sharing harmful teachings. My friend, you can convince yourself to be excited. You can convince yourself that you're something you are yet to be. And the subconscious mind is very objective. If you feel a certain way, it's only a matter of time before you act in accordance to that belief. If you think, what happens when I lose XYZ? Tears begin to flow freely. Now, that person is not yet dead. That person is hale and happy. Yet, the feeling is expressed. So, you can invert this principle and apply it towards your good. In fact, if we're to sit and analyze as professionals, if I say to you, believe you're going to have an accident, believe you're going to have an accident, feel your bones being crushed by a car, over time, you would agree this reality would come to pass. So instead of believing in the negative aspect of your mind, why don't you invert? Because equal and opposite forces do exist. For there to be a God, there has to be a devil. For there to be light, there has to be darkness. If light was the default, then in fact, it's not light. If land was the default, then it's no longer land. If there was no water that creates a separation, you can actually drown by attempting to walk upon this valley, then the concept of land wouldn't be that special. So for something to exist, the opposite is most likely alive, dead, healthy, sick. If you're eternally healthy, then the concept of sick is inexistent. So you understand the point, the dual concept of life. So for that negative principle to be operational, then it's most likely the positive is the case. Equal and opposite forces. So the first is to believe in yourself. And I've told you, believing in yourself, irregardless of the intermediary of the activity that ushers you into the realm of belief, you can actually scratch that activity and produce the desired outcome. Believe. Believe. Which then boils, if you've gotten to this point, I'm sure you're going to ask, well, does that mean I should be lazy and not do anything, just believe in myself? No. Like I said, the subconscious mind is impartial. And if you believe you're X person, you will begin to take action in accordance to that belief. So if you believe you're jacked, you will begin to go to the gym, which will then produce the reality. I hope you know a positive attitude in the gym can help improve your muscles 5 to 10% more. That's why the Bible says enviness is a rottenness of the bone. So your mind can actually bring you to a point of decline as touching health. We all know the story of a guy who got locked up in a freezer, and as the temperature dropped, he was carving his experience upon the door. I'm feeling cold. I feel like I'm freezing to death. Help me, help me. Then the next morning, they found him dead. But what was funny about that scenario is the temperature never changed. The temperature was in fact average. So his mind convinced him the increase of the temperature, and literally a man lost his life as a consequence of wrong belief. Please understand, a man lost his life as a consequence of wrong belief. That's the first, believe in yourself. The second is believe in what you're saying. As you know, we do not wrestle with effects. We find the cause of a problem and provide solution to the cause, making the problem to vanish. So believing in yourself is a cause. There are so many effects attached to that one concept. For instance, anxiety, fidgeting during communication with a lady. Does she like me? Does she not like me? Etc. So believing in what you're saying is an effect. The cause would be an intimate understanding of what you're saying. People online, and this is the problem I see with people on the internet, they just copy and clip from other people's content. Upon discourse with the creator, you find out they do not have the requisite level of understanding to be a creator. So it's just garbage copied with personal anecdotes. Have an intimate understanding of the concepts you communicate, then you would believe. For instance, if you say, do not leave the house by 11 p.m. Why? Well, bad people are outside. And from the level, the rates at which you communicate, it is discernible you do not believe in what you're saying. Because humans are able to discern conviction and otherwise. So if I speak in a certain way, if I use a certain tonality, you believe in what I'm saying. So by the time you speak in, please don't go out by night, it's 11 p.m. and there are bad people, stay back home. And she goes, why? At best, to get her to fall in line would be to devolve the relationship to some kind of authoritarian style. And we all know how that ends. She leaves you. So the solution is to understand what you're saying in the first place, why it is so. Do not leave the house by 11 p.m. It's not safe. Trust me. Well, the security officers, no. I cannot provide, as long as I cannot provide security for you, as long as I cannot send bouncers to the club with you, you're staying home. I don't want anything to happen to you. In fact, there are places, especially here in Africa, there was an incident of a CEO stabbing a group of ladies who reserved VIP in a club with bottles. Broke her teeth, literally, and nothing happened. He told the girls, if you go to the law enforcement, nothing would happen. And they went, and exactly, nothing happened. Once you put it in that way and explore various analogies where things went wrong, women who are emotional, they get scared and they conform to ideals. Of course, every single night cannot be the same analogy, you know? There are times where this is a very nuanced discussion. I do not want to keep giving case studies and speak to great extent, make it somehow like some laws. If this happens, do this. No, I don't want to be technical about it. I want to lay the foundations. Then the kind of complex, the way in which you approach is totally up to you. So for the sake of time, I believe these two foundational keys would improve your relationship beyond imagination. And as always, my friends, a pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you in the next one.